Hi, everybody. This is Phillip Guan, CPA. Today is the end of November. I'm very happy to have another round of training how to do the tax return. This is not the very first time for us to training, and we have been training many times. And I would like to do it one more time to train a group of people so that you can learn the basic. Now, before I get the formal training, I would like to thank for the software company. Our CPA firm have been in the business for more than 20 years. More than 20 years, we have been used different tax software, but use one tax software more than 10 years, and currently still using. It's called DRKE, D-R-K-E. And the DRKE tax software I found is user-friendly and actually very useful and easy to learn. So that's why I like to use it. And today, the training, that a lot of training material have been developed by the DRKE tax software. So I use it for the internal, for the training purpose. Okay, so I thanks for the DRKE tax software provided. So I am very appreciated. So today, I am going to share with you one or two practice exam. So now, here is the good thing. So now I'm going to go to the places and then share screen. So now, before I go it, I'm going to have one or two people to help me to do the co-host. Okay. How about Jean to help me to become a co-host? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go, and then Victor, I'm gonna let you become my co-host. So two of you co-hosts, but this means sometimes people may forget to mute themselves. You can help me to mute them, or sometimes when I ask questions, you guys can answer questions. So that way, it won't be like me talking. Okay, so now it's gonna be fun. So let's get started. I am going to get to the right places first, and then I'm going to share my screen. I'm not sharing my screen yet. Okay, I am going to, now I'm going to share my screen right now. In the Zoom meeting, in the bottom, there's an arrow. It's called share screen. That is the places that you're going to share screen. So now, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, I'm in the DRKE text software, the inside DRKE support. And then there is a section in about the left corner under training. There are many training information in here. So, and then one of the practice is right here. It's called practice return. So today, we are going to talk about this practice return. Now let's look at the first one. Now the very first one, I'm going to enlarge it. In this scenario, we're going to learn how to do W-2, how to do healthcare, how to do earned income credit, and also how to do child tax credit, and as well as do due diligence. The advanced child tax credits and child care expenses. Now in here, so in this specific return, they just want to show the photo. So after I show you the J tax software provide the training. I'm going to show you in the actual tax software. I'm going to teach you one by one. So that way you're going to learn twice. Okay. By the time I'm going to teach it, I'm going to use state of California. Okay. So this is the name of the person. It's not Mary. It's live in Georgia. Be a 6 years old kid. It's going to so this their information, and then also she's qualified to claim the kids as the dependents, and this is the driver information, and this is the taxpayer's information. Interesting. Same birthday of my twin daughters, November 8th. Here's the dependent information. And this is also the more in detail as the dependent informations. The income of the person, the healthcare, and we need to do due diligence. As we finish this tax return, you will get earned income credit, you're gonna get a lot of different credit, and you need to answer those due diligence questions. So now, this is the very first tax return, that's why it's simple. So as we time goes by one at a time, and then they become more complicated later. So now, how to do this? Now here's a cool thing. What's this? At the end of the solution, here's gonna look like. I'm gonna show you the end result first, and then we're gonna go there. After you finish this tax return, the whole tax return is gonna look like this. The dependent information is there. W2 information, and then the page 2, you get earned income credit, you see it, as well as the child care credit, as well as the child care. So at the end, you get quite a bit of money, right? 8426. Now we are gonna end up like this. This is the answer, okay? This is the answer. This is after you finish, you're gonna get the tax return look like this. Once you get the tax return look like this, you get 100, right? So now, let's go back to here. Here's a cool thing. There is a video tutorial to show you how to do tax return. It's short. I today from 8 to 9, I have been prepare all this information. I watch it one more time. I think it's pretty cool. I want you to watch one time in for this one. It's only 11 minutes. Okay, now I need to do one thing, and then also you want to need to learn. Now, as you just watch me how to do things, and just normal share screen, but in order for you to capture the sounds, the share screen had to be a little bit different. You could go to share screen. In the far left corner, you have to be share sound. You see it like that. you get this box, you're gonna capture the video sounds. Otherwise, the video sound sometimes you won't get into the Zoom meeting, or the quality is not as good. But if you just want to talk to now I get it. I still learning. Okay, now I'm gonna get this. I try to get it.
Practice return 1, 1040 individual tax return.
Is
In
it
this
enough time?
scenario, practice entering a 1040
You can hear it?
individual tax return in Drake Tax 2021.
Yes.
Data
Yes, I
entry
can hear
for this
it.
return includes Form W-2 income, healthcare coverage, earned income credit and child tax credit, advanced child tax credit, and child care expenses. Use the scenario information provided in Practice 1 to complete the return. The scenario includes answers provided from the taxpayer's questionnaire and source document details. Before creating the tax return, review the taxpayer's information. Ponderosa Pine is unmarried and lives in Atlanta, Georgia with her 6-year-old son, Spruce. Ponderosa works full-time as a botanist at the University of Trees. Ponderosa and her son are both U.S. citizens and cannot be a qualifying child or dependent on anyone else's federal tax return. She provided proof of maintenance of the household, including utility bills and rent receipts. There is evidence that Ponderosa paid more than 50% of the cost of keeping up the home in which she and her son lived. She lived in the U.S. for the entire year. Ponderosa provided you with a copy of her driver's license. Scrolling down the document, you will also notice the healthcare information section. Ponderosa and her son were covered by health insurance for the entire year.
Nice of her to
Form
give you a
1095A
bag.
was not provided. From the Drake Tax home window, click the Open Create button to start a new return. Enter the taxpayer's identification number and press Enter or click OK. Choose Yes to start a new return. Choose the return type. In this case, Individual 1040 is the default selection. Enter the taxpayer's name and select OK. The return opens to Screen 1, the name and address screen. Based off of the information provided, complete Screen 1, name and address screen, and general information. Ponderosa's filing status is Head of Household because she meets the Head of Household test. Due diligence must be documented to support this, which we will review later. Choose the Head of Household filing status from the list. Tip: press F1 to display help for the selected data entry field. Note in this case, details about filing statuses. Press Tab on your keyboard to move through the fields. Enter the taxpayer's date of birth, occupation, and contact information. Select 0 in the resident state field, as this practice return is not covering state information. Ponderosa provided a copy of her state-issued photo ID. Select the ID link on the name and address screen to enter the ID information. After entering the ID information, press the Escape key on your keyboard to return to the name and address screen. For 2021, all taxpayers are required to answer foreign account and virtual currency questions, which Ponderosa provided answers to in the income section of the taxpayer questionnaire. She also stated that she received a total of $2,800 for the economic stimulus payment. Answer each of the foreign account and virtual currency questions on the name and address screen. Select the screen link Recovery Rebate EIP to enter this information on the RRC screen. After completing the applicable fields on the RRC screen, press Escape on your keyboard to return to Screen 1, Name and Address. Select the HC link on the Name and Address screen to toggle to the Healthcare screen. Ponderosa provided this information in the Healthcare Information section of the Taxpayer Questionnaire. After answering yes to the healthcare question, press the Escape key on your keyboard to return to Screen 1, Name and Address screen. Note, links to the direct deposit screen for returns with a refund or electronic funds withdrawal for returns with a balance due are available here on Screen 1 as well. Note that links provide the ability to quickly toggle between data entry screens, but that all screens are available from the data entry menu. Press Escape on your keyboard to save and exit the Name and Address screen. This takes you to the data entry menu for this return. Next, review the information in this scenario regarding dependents. To enter dependent information in Drake Tax, select the Dependents screen, or Screen 2, to enter information about the taxpayer's dependent, Spruce Pine. You can enter data in Grid Data Entry as displayed here, or open the detail for each dependent where additional information is required. Based off of the dependent section of the return scenario, complete the dependent screen, including the dependent's ID, date of birth, relationship, and the amount of child care expenses provided, if applicable. Child care expenses are reported on Form 2441. Click the Form 2441 link to go to Screen 2441. Ponderosa's principal residence was in the U.S. for more than half of the tax year. Answer yes to the principal residence question and complete the child care provider's information. When the screen is complete, press Escape to return to the dependent screen. Ponderosa provided IRS Letter 6419, stating the amount of advanced child tax credit received in 2021. Select the 8812 link on the dependent screen to access the 8812 screen. Enter the advanced child tax credit received, and then press Escape on your keyboard to return to the dependent screen. Certain due diligence questions are answered for each dependent. Ponderosa provided answers to these questions on the taxpayer's questionnaire. Complete the due diligence questions for this dependent, and then select the 8867 link to go to Screen 8867, where general due diligence questions for the return are documented. The IRS requires additional due diligence for head of household filing status. These questions can be accessed by selecting the due diligence assistant at the top of the 8867 screen, and then select the Head of Household tab. After completing this screen, press the Escape key on your keyboard one time to return to Screen 8867, and one more time to return to the dependent screen. Note, page down if additional dependent screens are required. Press the Escape key to close the dependent screen. Based off of the taxpayer's questionnaire, Ponderosa's income originated from a W-2 issued from the University of Trees. Enter the taxpayer's W-2 information. Select the Wages screen, or enter the screen code W-2 in the selector field. Note, to learn more about entering multiple W-2s, select the hyperlink at the top of the screen to view a short video tutorial. If the W-2 being entered has more than 4 lines for boxes 12, 14, or more than 4 states, select the Additional Entries tab at the top of screen W2. While not needed in this scenario, pressing Page Down produces an additional W2 screen. Press Escape on your keyboard to close the Wages screen. Note, at any time during data entry, click View Print from the toolbar or press Ctrl-V to view the tax return. From View mode, press Data Entry from the toolbar or press Escape on your keyboard to return to the data entry screen you were working on. To quickly view a summary of return results, click Calculate on the toolbar or press Ctrl-C on your keyboard. Return diagnostics can be viewed from either Calculate or View mode. The diagnostic on this return states that the PIN screen needs to be completed. This is the 8879 e-file authorization that must be completed before the return can be e-filed. Compare your return results with the Practice 1 solution. This completes the demonstration of Practice Return 1.
That's good. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I supposedly use an English to explain it in a way, in more detail in the text form. Let me ask you guys an option. Do you want me to use an English, or do you want me to use a Mandarin or Cantonese to explain?
As you like.
No, I can use either language, but let me ask. Let me ask now. If you can hear either English or Mandarin, you don't need to say anything. But if you cannot understand Mandarin, you need to say it right now.
Okay, I don't speak Mandarin or Cantonese.
Okay.
Also, do not speak.
Okay.
Mandarin.
So this class is supposed to be English only, and then Saturday afternoon I have the 4 hour for Mandarin and 1 shot for the whole week. Okay. So and then if I do have questions, I have times, I may offer the Cantonese classes. So somebody text me, your request is reject. Sorry. Okay. So we stay in English. Okay. So okay, we learn English. Okay. Let me get to my software. Okay. So I'm going to go to my software. Okay. I enable the privacy. As you can see, you won't be able to see my screen. Now here is what I show you, the way, very convenient. You don't have to print a lot of things. Let's say you have this tax return information. I already have it, this information. So now, if you want to do this tax return, and then you want to see this information and also side by side with the tax software. Here's how cool is it. Look, do you see on the top there's a plus sign? Yeah, somebody give me some answers so that I know you guys hear it. There's a plus sign, right?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, and then beyond the plus sign, right here, not in the plus sign, beyond it, far right a little bit, and then click, hold right there, and then you will see that there's a middle, and then let go. Now you get half. Now I'm gonna go to this 21. So here is the coolest thing. Now we split. Is it pretty cool, isn't it? a lot of times I don't need to print any information. I just, especially like my client give me information from email or Google Drive or OneDrive, I just pull it out. I split the screen. So how I do it, I have a laptop, I have HDMI and connecting with the big TV. Like I just bought a 43 inches. So that way, so it's very comfortable for me. I saw in here, in the left side is my data, the right side is, so this is the social, right? Open 400000042. Oh no, this is the independent. I screw up. It's the other one. It's this one. This is the 400. I already done it. So I done it before this training. So now in here, here's how the text software looks like. So this is number one. See, in this number one, the very first thing, here's a cool thing. When you're working on something with your mouse or when you're doing something, they highlight it. Do you see it? Right now, it's number 4, like there, they highlight it. So you choose 1 out of 5. Okay, the number 5 only for the first 2 years when somebody passed, when their spouse passed away and they dependent, and so that the widow can still claim the other spouse's more, so that by doing this way, the standard deduction is higher to get 2 people. So I just file 1 amend tax return for 1 widow. They forget to claim it, and then the IRS just refund the money and plus the interest. Now, here's number. What number we supposed to get? Could you guys say it to me? What number? Number 4. Okay. So now, here is the social. Here's the first name, and here is the last name. If there's a middle name in here, and there is sometimes people have this kind of special for their name related, if there is. And some people, their son's first and last name is exactly the same as their dad, and only different is like here. There's some in here, junior or something like that. So that must be very careful. So now, their birthday, their phone number, and this number has to have input because some down there, if you have a direct deposit or direct withdrawal, they need this number has to be there. Nowadays, a lot of people, their cell phone and data number are the same. Okay, and here's the email. It's good to have all the information. Now, this is the address. As you can see, it's supposed to Georgia. I make it in state of California. I make it in my zip code. I want to show you the state of California tax return. Now, since I changed it to state of California, this will be a state of California. And then the question in here, it was no and no. What's this question? They don't have foreign account. This means they don't have any exchanges for the virtual currency. If there is, you need to say yes, you need to fill out. And there are some tax return in the future time. You're going to see it. Okay, now in here, I need to change this one and as a state of California as well, right? Things change accordingly. And then this one, they both have 1400. So this is the year of 2021 tax return. 2022 have not been released yet, a tax software. So we are going to do tax 2022, but the 2022 is not available at this moment. This is healthcare. They have all the healthcare. So now they talk to you. The cool thing in here, once you get into this screen, you can either close it or escape. Escape is probably the easiest way to do it. But sometimes you get used to just close it. Either way it goes. So now, in here, down here, left side, there is a form information and also the prepare information down here. Now, let's say I want to get out from here. What is the best way to do? Escape or close, either way. So the dependent in here, number 2 in here, double click. The first last name, social, is a son, is a birthday. Now this is, guess what's this? This is how much they pay to somebody to take care of the kid. Okay. They was 6 years old by December 31st, 2021, right here. It shows you. Now, obviously, I need to change this one to state of California. So now T stands for taxpayer. Now the first one in all this question, the first question, more likely you have to be yes. If no, you won't be able to take it. And also more likely second question is no. But sometimes when the parents get divorced, other people there is a requirement. But in this specific situation, they say it very clear. It's dependent. They are not married. You see it? You leave it like here. You say it. They qualify. Okay. There's no action, but so they qualify for claim a dependence. And you need to answer those. And here, a lot of people forget to answer these questions. Look at this one. Now, the coolest thing in here is when you work in something, they highlight it. And this is not number 10, the 10 above. And if you don't answer this one, a lot of times those credit doesn't show up. You say, where is it? It's like there, like here. But if I just uncheck this later, go back, the number will different. The number will be different. So now I need to go back to here to do it right. Oh, because I put the privacy in there, and then I need to get the number social for your 6001. Okay, now in here, do you remember what I'm missing? This one. Now, in here, most of the answers supposed to be this 4 answer supposed to be yes. In most situations. And then below here, in this situation, You have to choose what they apply to, because this kid still go to childcare. So you know there's a childcare. Well, this kid may go to school, but I know for sure there's a childcare information, right? So I just check one box is enough. But if you have more, it's okay. Here, there's one in here. Check anything, apply it if you have any. So now we're good in here. Now, how to get it out from here? Escape one more time. So now we go to main screen, the detail. Now, any blue thing, that means you have done something. Now, there is, do you see the tabs across the board? Like that? There are different tabs. And then down there, there are number, there are things. For example, there's general tab, under general tab, there are this many. Now, we just finished 1 and 2 in general. Now, it tells you from general, from the kit screen, the cool things come here. Do you see all these blue little things? You're supposed to go there to fill in the information. Now, why don't we just go there? Here is provide. The person who provides childcare, the childcare provider, the EIN or social. If it's EIN, there should be a check mark. Okay. If not, there should be whatever. Okay. Now, remember, is the deduction of this person that will be an income of the other of the provider. It's a matching. So those are important. The name of the provider and information, the amount, and you also need the phone numbers. And even nowadays, sometimes you can go Google as well as state in here. So you need to fill all this information. So escape. We finished this. You normally work from top to the bottom, and you see this 8867. You click. Now, you see the first is highlighted. It's yes. Read these questions. And these questions and gave you the first one is reasonable. Well, if not, you should reject this tax return. Right? If you know, you should not do this business. If you know, don't do it. Some best business is the business you don't do. Like you don't eat all the food on the table. You just eat whatever is good for you and you like it. There's plenty of business out there. Number 2 question, look at that. Number 4 question, do you see that? It's a double negative. Is a double negative appear to be incorrect. So it's yes, yes, no, skip. 4A, 4B will be skipped if there's a no in there. If there's a yes, you need to be answered why it's appear to be incorrect. More likely, if you know it's appear to be incorrect, you should advise them to be corrected. If not, you should disengage yourself. Don't do this business. Okay. Number 5. Now this is 4B. Number 5 is A. 6 is A. 7 is A. No. So it's empty. So you don't need to answer this. This one is there's no self-employed, so not apply. So yes, yes, or yes in here. No, no, yes, yes, no. Let me help you how to do that. So look at this. Yes, yes. Look what? There's one. There's a. They skip two in here. There's no answer. Need to answer number two. So yes, yes, no. Skip, skip. Yes, yes, yes. Skip, skip. Yes, 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 yes. No, no. Yes, yes, no. That is in J text. This 2088-16-7. Each and every year when they change it to different software, different year, sometimes those question answer, the sequence, they sometimes changes. By the time when we go to 2022, you need to be careful. So you should know what it looks like. At first, you maybe just print one out, what is supposed to be corrected. Okay, so now from here, there's some override if there is any, which you normally don't do override. So now we was in here. Now, due diligence assistant when there's a head of household and there's a kid, the kid in here as well, right? Do you see? I input the kid information layer. It's not self-employed, so we don't need to answer these questions. It's a head of household, you need to answer accordingly. So that's why when you interview the client, you need to correct this information. Otherwise, you have to be back and forward with the clients. Okay. How do you know? Well, looking for the last year tax return. They should have similar information. Okay. So now, we finish in here. There's another one, ADA 12. This advanced high tax credit, they prepay this much to the parents. So therefore, they supposed to get 3,000 in a year, like here. So they get advance of 1,500, so they get the left. Like here. They get supposed to get 3,000. So they already get 1,500. So they're going to get another 1,500 in this tax return. Sometimes if you have a kid just newly born in that year, so more likely they're not going to get the advanced high tax credit. So therefore, you're going to help them to get the full child tax credit for that year. If sometimes the child has not been applied to the social quick enough, they should file extension and also wait until the social comes to file tax return. Or they have to apply amended. Okay, now the W-2 is easy, just simple input, name, EIN, address. Now, when you input the box number 1, box 3, 5, they automatically fill it for you. When you fill 1, 3, and 5, but not all the cases they are the same. In this case, they are the same. So you need to now, and also 4 and 6, they fill it out for you. You need to fill box 2, which is the withholding. Now, in here, I've changed it to state of California. I make up some withholding number in here. In the actual tax return example, they do not provide the state. Now, any else? ID, we did it. sign like here. Put the date. Put there's a pin. Each and every CPA firm will be different, and then they will be told what number in here. Now, in state of California, we are in state of California. Go to state of California. There's 2 places you need to click in it. Under the 3rd tab, the first tab, you have a head of household. Now, further you fill out one head of household, state of California, you need to fill out another one. It's not auto transfer. They have different questions. First one, so this person have not been married, but have kids. So the relationship is come here, from here. One of the things, the first one. And choose that person and answer those 2 questions. Yes, no. And have not been making any money. It's only 6 years old, right? So 365 days have been in here. So now we answer these questions. We don't need to do credit. We go tax tab. We go to the last one in here. We check this little box, not use tag 2. So now the 4th tab, state of California beginning to charge penalty for not having health insurance. So in this situation, if they say they have it. Now, if they have covered California, they need to fill this out. In this situation, they're not. They have just like the company provide health insurance. So with that, we're finished. Now let's hit calculator. Now we get the tax return, and do you see all the 2 green check marks? That means we're done. Now the tax return looks like this. See, as after you do the tax return, after you input it, you double check it. You come here, you make sure you do it right. So you really check it, okay, against the original. Don't just click, okay? Because the client will be very unhappy if you spell their name or so long or address wrong or anything in here. So you need to make sure, double check everything. You can check one in a time in here. There's a W2. And a W2 down here, there's a box, there's a places you can check all the input. It's very easy to do it. It's not that easy to make a mistake. If you're careful, it's nearly impossible you can make a mistake. If you check everything, how can you make a mistake? Right? See, in here, the due diligence that you did it become an answer in here. You see it? The due diligence question that you answer, they generate a form for the taxpayer need to sign. Do you remember that? They had a household question right there. Now, and here's the earning income credit question. When we fill it out, here's where we fill it out. We fill out from here. We fill it out from here, like here. And then they also pull the information from here. The one or dependent. So they pull from 2 different places to generate that form. Okay. We're good. Here is this client pretty good. Look. This client get the tax by itself is not much. You see it? It's an income. Had a household have a higher standard deduction. And then taxable amount income is only this little. The tax is this much. Withholding is huge, right? As you can see in here. There's an earned income credit. And there is the refundable tax credit. What's this? And this is from here. When you have this provided from a child care, you send a kid to child care center, and Uncle Sam give you credit, 50% of it. Do you see it? But based on the income. In this situation, 50% of it. So as you can see, this client get a pretty good refund for furlough. You can have the refund directly passed, and you can fill it from here. You fill out the information in here, or you can fill out, there's another information. You can fill out either or in here. Now, state of California. State of California is straightforward. Most part of the state of California right now, you end up no tax. I make up this withholding. So there's an earned income credit. So at the end of the day, you got 727 refund. Okay. You remember we answered those questions? Any questions for me? You can ask me questions. You have to unmute yourself to ask me questions. No question? Well, pretty good. Well, it's the very first time you learn it today. You may feel not very familiar. The best way is, besides you learn it online from me, if you can have time to go to my CPA firm to doing sometime internship. Right now, we're not tax season, we're not busy. So you can come here to get the practice. We can train you how to do it, okay? So that you can bring your computer to practice, okay? So I am going to train you guys 4 days a week, okay? Every week, every day, 1 hour. So we are 1 hour already. So today I'm gonna finish this training. So how do you guys like it? Is it good? Okay. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
I liked it a lot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Good night.